Hey guys, New York Bars here, back with another video. And today, as you guys could see, I'm here on the field. Field is empty because it's during school hours. So I don't know, I just love the feeling when you have the empty field, you know, get the whole field for yourself. But anyways, let's get to tip number 2. And tip number 2, I'd say just shoot more often. Simple as that. Shoot more often, because when it comes to soccer and you want to win a game, what wins games? It's not possession, even though that's what New York Barca's game style of play is. It's not the most tricks, it's not the most passes, it's not the most beautiful cross or the fastest players. It's goals. And how do you score goals? With shooting. Simple as that. So yeah, growing up, I think that's something I overlooked. I'd always see my friends shooting, and then I'd kind of curl into my own little bubble, and I just just dribble the ball by myself, or just juggle the ball. And yeah, shooting, if you could start at a young age, you could definitely benefit so much, because shooting is not something you learn overnight, and not even in a month or even half a year. I think, yeah, it'll improve, but shooting is one of those techniques that it takes thousands and thousands and thousands of shots to really get good at. I'm 23 right now, and I'd say my shooting, if they were to put me on as a FIFA player, my shooting is probably maybe 46 maybe. So it's not that high either. There's great players out there, Messi, Ronaldo, those two players, they have incredible shooting. So, and I know, their shooting technique, it wasn't learned overnight. So yeah, if you guys are super young, just start shooting more often. Right after practice finishes, just get your soccer ball, take 20 shots. Imagine if you go to practice 3 times a week, and let's say after every practice you shoot the ball, even if there's no goal, you just shoot at a gate, or you just shoot at a wall or a goal, whatever, or a tree, whatever. 20 times 3, that's 60 shots. Those are 60 shots that you're getting, that your opponent or your teammate, let's say, is not practicing. And do that times 4 weeks. 60 times 4, that's 240 shots extra of practice that you're getting. So shooting, it's one of those things that you could definitely do. And even if you don't have practice, I always like telling players that just because you go to practice 3 times a week, and let's say you have one game, so that's 4 out of 7, what are you doing the other 3 days? What are you doing that's soccer related if you really want to get good? So on the days that you don't have practice, just spend 30 minutes on the field and just shoot a ball. And like I said in tip number 1, if you haven't watched it, I'll put it right here. It's good to be ambidextrous, and that's just a fancy way of saying two-footed player. So when you shoot the ball, make sure you use both feet. You want to use your left foot and your right foot. And I'm gonna keep emphasizing that throughout all these videos. You always use both feet, no matter what. If you're shooting with your right after, take a shot with your left. And like I said, if you're horrible at it, that's okay. That's what practice exists. You're here to get better. So, and another thing too, practice different types of shots. Don't just, let's say I've always seen people on the field, it's always better being on the field and practicing than staying at home and playing Fortnite or something like that. And I'm not against it. I'm just you gotta learn how to balance, soccer and your recreational activities, as well as if you have a job or you have schoolwork or another new sport that you're doing. So, but yeah, you want to use different parts of the foot. So if if you're that type of player that always likes beaming the ball, just switch it up every now and then. Try to practice the curve ball. Curve. And if you're always the type of player that always likes curving the ball, try to practice those beam shots, that I know a lot of you have seen, Ronaldo shots, he'll do a scissor, cuts it in, or he you know, and he just beams it. You know, he's not going, yeah, he's going for placement, but he's going for power over, like, you know, any curl shot, you know. And you know, knuckleballs, that's another thing too, so you guys could definitely like YouTube that and watch knuckleballs. I'd make a tutorial video about that, but I'm not that good with knuckleballs, not yet, but I hope throughout time I get better at it. So yeah, you know, use different types of shooting techniques. And yeah, you know, you could also use different parts of the foot as well, you know. So I'm wearing these Messi shoes, so you know, if you're, we always mostly shoot with this part and this part, but don't forget about this part as well too, you know. Make sure you use the outside part as well too. And yeah, so if you're young and you haven't put too much importance in it, make sure you start shooting the ball more often. And yeah, and another thing too is, like, you know, just because when you play on the field you don't shoot at the ball too often doesn't mean that's something that you shouldn't practice. So even if you're a defender, a midfielder, or a goalkeeper, and let's say you're not shooting the ball too often, you know, still practice your shots every day if you can, but if not, every week, you know, it's definitely gonna help. But yeah, you know, if you guys haven't watched my other videos, you guys could check it out right here, and make sure to subscribe right here. Catch you guys next time.